other news, IPO-bound electric two-wheeler maker Ola Electric Mobility has raised 410 crore rupees via an NCD issue from Evolution X Debt Capital. Before this, the company had raised about $240 million in debt from State Bank of India in October of 2023. Now, according to data from Traction, Ola Electric has raised about $1 billion in total in debt and equity funding so far. So staying with Ola Electric Mobility then, the company also announced today that it has recorded registrations of more than 53,000 for the month of March, posting its all-time high monthly volumes. The company achieved a year-on-year growth of 115% in FY24 over the FY23 figures, with 3.28 lakh units registered as against 1.52 lakh units in FY23. Now, currently, Ola Electric has about 40% share in the market in the two-wheeler EV space. So to give us a sense of what drove this growth and if it will continue into the new financial year is Anshul Khandelwal, the Chief Marketing Officer at Ola Electric. Anshul, welcome to Startup Street and thanks very much for your time here. Before I get to these registrations, let's quickly address Ola's post on social media all over today saying you're launching Ola Solo. That's your fully autonomous electric vehicle. What have you got to tell our viewers about it?
Yeah, I think you've seen it. We've put out the video and I think it's one of the most exciting projects. And let's see what you guys take out of it. I don't want to say much about it. I think it's fairly self-explanatory. And soon you'll get to know more.
Well, you want to wish our viewers April Fool's Day? Now is the time, Anshul.
I can. It depends on. I think people are fairly smart, so I don't need to do that on my own. I think Indian consumers.
All right. So just to clarify, that was a prank.
Not really. I think time will tell.
Okay. Okay, time will tell. But Anshul, more than 53,000 registrations in a single month in March. It's a record high for Ola Electric. Just give us a sense of what led to this kind of surge in registrations. And would you say that the strategy to offer very steep discounts on the two-wheelers, as much as 25,000 rupee cuts, and then, of course, offers on top of that for Women's Day and so on, that's played a huge role as well?
Hi. No, so that's not the case really. I think, first of all, we're really excited about the growth that we've got in March and even in February. Consistently, month over month, industry has been growing. In fact, more than us, the industry has hit 9% penetration in March, which is fairly significant if you look at it from last year onwards, from May, June onwards. And this is at an overall two-wheeler level. At a scooter level, the penetration will be multifold from here. And as far as our sales are concerned, I think there are multiple factors. First is the wide range of portfolio. I think we have products from 85,000 to 130,000, from a 2 kilowatt hour to a 4 kilowatt hour. So we're pretty much covered from technology to range to design to all consumer needs. I think that's one biggest reason. And this we've been doing since August last year. We have launched these 5-6 products. Secondly, I think we solved these consumer barriers in February, and you can see the way the industry has picked up February onwards, which is primarily on battery life, charging and service, which are very, very important for the consumers who are fairly pragmatic in nature. And at this point in EV adoption journey, they need that. And third is, I would say, the value. I think very interesting insights are that it's not the price or the discount that people buy. We have been able to do this on the back of really strong manufacturing, supply chain and technology. So I would not really call it discount. Sure. It is the value we're providing to people. And in fact, on the premium range of scooters is where people are buying a lot of scooters. So I would not call it that, people buying a 130,000 scooter are buying it because of discount. They're buying it because of the value the 130,000 is providing. And Indians are fairly value conscious instead of price conscious. That was a learning for us also and an insight. And on the other side, 85,000, which is equivalent to a petrol price scooter, that's something which consumers are picking up.
Well, a 25,000 rupee discount does not hurt, Anshul, but, 3.28 lakh registrations in FY24. Is this going to continue this kind of growth in FY25 as well? Any targets you could tell us in terms of sales and production?
No, more than the targets ourselves, I think the industry is seeing a lot of inflection, and this time it is very different from what it was last year. There is considerable amount of interest from consumers, which is why they are preponing their purchase and buying it in March. And given the change in subsidy regimes, etc., the product prices for the consumers do not change much. Plus, the consumers have very significant interest in the product more than the price. So this time we feel it is considerably different, structurally different. And the industry is going to go from here, Feb, March onwards towards this festive season is going to be on a real uptick. So to answer your question, yes, we feel extremely confident there will be significant growth from here onwards, both for industry and for us.
Well, Anshul, quickly, since you called it a structural cost reduction, will this kind of a reduction sustain? Because, how much money is Ola Electric burning on a monthly basis to sustain this?
No, again, this is, I don't think that's the right question on how much are we burning. It's about what are we doing to ensure that we give this value to the consumers, which is very strong, resilient supply chain, very large scale manufacturing for economies of scale, and engineering and technology in-house. I think those are the things. I can't reveal the financials here, and hence wrong to say that how much money are we burning. It is about these three things. What strengths are we developing so that we are able to give this? I think that is the question. It is fully opposite of this. And we fairly are very confident that it is the strength that we have developed on these three things, which allows us to do that. And rest, the numbers will tell themselves. I can't talk about the financials right now.
Well, we will wait for those numbers, but a quick word on your market share. It's about 40%. Is there room to grow from here or maintain this? What's your sense going ahead?
Absolutely. If you look at the last few quarters, we have been consistently increasing our market share, quarter over quarter over quarter. In multiple quarters, we've increased our market share, and goal is to, of course, be as high as possible, maybe even 100%. But the idea is, yes, there is enough and more room above 40% to really grow the market share on the back of the number of products we have, the value that we are providing. I think these two things and the barriers that we are solving, very confident that we should be able to maintain leadership and also grow from here. Maybe that's our goal.
Okay. Because we are starting a new financial year, not financials, but give us a sense of what's in store in terms of launches. There have been some reports about Ola also looking at a three-wheeler launch potentially. Could you give us a sense of what we should expect this year?
I think nothing official in it. A lot of that was just speculative, but I think the larger message is that over a period of time, both in two-wheelers and other categories, we would definitely want to have a play over the next few years for sure, because it's not just about scooters, but the entire two-wheeler mobility industry and other formats as well. So we will definitely have a play in all of them, but officially can't reveal the product roadmap right now.
Okay, finally, Anshul, I wanted to ask you, because the second phase of FAME has ended as of the 31st of March, and this new 500 crore electric mobility promotion scheme kicks in. That'll be forced until July. What are your expectations from this? And, how would life without these schemes look like?
I think the whole industry, and especially us, we've been preparing for this. I think on the back of technology and innovation, that dependence on subsidy is not so high, and the change in the regime is also not material. It has just come down by a bit, so that should not affect the consumer proposition or significantly affect the consumer proposition. So there is no fundamental change as such. Plus, over the last year, people are more familiar and more aware about EVs and seeing more value in them. So I don't think there'll be any impact of this particular change on the industry growth and trends.
Okay, Anshul, thank you so much for joining us here on CNBC TV 18. It was a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you.
Thanks, Ritu. Bye.
All right. For more news and updates, all you need to do is follow CNBC TV 18 on all of our digital platforms.